All right, this is our presentation for the Great Lakes Division, and the contents, we're going to look at some statistical information first, and then what happened at the Board of Directors meeting in July. Or statistical information. Right now, there is approximately 777,000 licensed ham radio operators in the United States. The largest concentration of hams, and they account for roughly 34% of all the licensed amateurs in the U.S., are California, Texas, Florida, Washington, and of course, Ohio. And you see the numbers there and all that good stuff. Our membership structure, we are down some. I know everybody's heard this. Yes, we have lost some. It's not too unexpected, quite frankly, with the age out of our members and America itself. We're getting older, folks, and some aren't interested. The newer folks don't seem to be as interested in joining as as our age group was. So the numbers are down some. And like I say, it's not all that unexpected. We were expecting some loss in that. If you didn't know, the ARRL has 15 divisions and 71 sections within America. The Great Lakes Division is the sixth largest of the divisions. It has a little over 10,000 ARRL members. Whoops, sorry about that. Come on here. Where are we at? There we are. Ohio is the largest section in the country, and it's actually larger than two divisions, Dakota and Hudson. And Ohio leads the nations with 131 active affiliated clubs, which I'm proud to say you guys are one of those. And we have 17 special service clubs at this point. That number kind of floats back and forth just depending on when people renew their special service. There are roughly 2,900 active affiliated clubs across the country. If you didn't know, the ARRL has a separate organization that's linked to ARRL, but is not ARRL. It's the ARRL Foundation. The foundation gives scholarships and grants. And last year we did over $1 million in scholarships to over 120 students. One of those students is down in your area, Chris Brolt. I'm sure you know him. If you don't know him, I'm sure you've heard of him. Chris is just about out of college right now, and so he'll be one of the few out. And we have a number of other great kids here in Ohio coming along and getting scholarships. This is a good time, I suppose, to bring this up. It won't be long here it'll actually open up in the month of December. The Scholarship Foundation will start to open up for applications. I know a lot of you probably don't have kids that are scholarship aged right now. They're probably already grown and having kids of their own. But if you are having grandkids, like I have, that are of age for a scholarship, there's really only one requirement that they get, and that is that they have to be a ham radio operator. So they have to be licensed. Let me tell you, we give scholarships anywhere from $25,000 on down to $500,000. So, hey, it's free money. That's what I tell everybody, and it is. It's free money. It's not taxed. There's no tax on grants and scholarships, so it is free money. These kids can really use the help. Schools are very expensive nowadays. Even trade schools are very expensive. So any form of money they can get will help, I'm sure. So, and I've never known a kid yet that turned down money. So it's a great thing. So if they aren't a ham yet, now is a good time to get them as a ham, even if they're not college bound yet. Make sure that they get their license, because by the time they get to that point, they're going to be thankful. Let me tell you, they get a grant for or a scholarship for $25,000. That pretty much covers all the tuition for a year, and that's not a bad thing, let me tell you. Okay, on the board of directors, we're going to do a little switch up here. Board of directors meeting in July. We did a number of bylaw revisions this last time. We actually changed bylaw 46, bylaw 42, and Article 7 within the Articles of Association. We improved them. We actually brought them up to the 21st century. Bylaw 46 is our code of ethics, along with 42. The Articles of Association had to do with board vacancies that hadn't been updated in many, many years. And along with that, with Bylaw 46, we also created a new way for the Ethics Committee and the Board of Directors to review when we have, I don't want to call them bad actors, but when there is a time that a board member may get out of line some, and we have to do something about that. The ethics election is an ethics committee steps in and they review it. They review all the materials. If they find anything, it now will go to also a neutral, independent third party. This third party is either a judge or a lawyer or a magistrate in a court of some sort. It will depend because we have several of them on hand right now that we could call. They are totally independent. None of them are amateur radio operators. They will go by the law and the law only. So they will take a look at that. And if they also rule that the ethics committee is correct, it goes back to the board along with the recommendation from the ethics committee and the recommendation from the neutral independent third party, and the board, a 10-member, it takes 10 members of the board now. It's what they call a supermajority that it will take to vote to expel or to I don't want to say kick one out, but basically to have that board member no longer a board member. Currently, or I should say before this took hold, it only took a majority, which was 8. So now it takes 2 more members of the board to agree that whatever was done was egregious enough for the ethics committee to take action on. Which makes it a lot harder to do. So I know there's been a lot of talk over the past year or so that this has been out there that, oh, well, we're just trying to pad the board the way we like it or whatever. No, actually, it's just the opposite. We're actually making it more difficult to do, but that also makes it, we feel, more fair. You have a much better chance of giving your side of the story and the reasons behind it, and and so on, than what you ever had before. So it's a lot more fair than it ever was. The awards that we bestowed in July, the Phil McCann Memorial Silver Antenna Award, which I've awarded here in Ohio several times in the past couple of years, went to Micah Martin, KN6VUT. I can get tongue-tied on that one. The Bill Leonard Professional Media Award, you may recognize that name because it's actually the real Harry Smith that you know from NBC Today. For meeting the students using radio waves to contact the ISS. If you remember and put your thinking caps on, about 6.5, 7 months ago now, on the Today Show, they actually made a true ISS contact. And that Harry Smith was the reporter at the time, and they gave him or awarded him the Professional Media Award for that. The Professional Media Award for print reporting went to McKenna Kelly and Del Cameron. Through it was their story about Hurricane Helene and Milton and how amateur radio triumphed when all else failed. If you remember, there was a live story, and in fact, I think it's still live and active, believe it or not, about the gentleman in Georgia who got on a hilltop repeater and produced all kinds of information for our served agencies as well as all of his citizens in about a 40-mile radius from him. So he did a very good job, and these two did an excellent job in their print reporting of what he did. The Herb Breyer Instructor of the Year went to Dennis Simon, KB7 UTV. The Instructor of the Year, that's given out if you do, and I believe Okayan does hold classes, do they not?
Yes, we do.
Okay. That your instructors can be up for this award if somebody nominates them. So next year, you may want to think about that. Nominating any one of your instructors for that award. The Hiram Piercy Maxim Memorial Award. That one is should be familiar to you folks because one of your own down there actually received it a number of years ago, and that was Chris Brolt. He received this award. This year it went to Alexa Snethern, KM6 LGG. She is a pretty neat gal to talk to. She's something else. She's done a lot of amateur radio. Let me tell you, she puts me to shame even. The Technical Innovation Award went to Matthew Wishick, NB0X. And that's for being having an innovation within the technical world. It could have been just about anything, and I'm not real sure the exact what he really did do for that award. But let me tell you, it takes a lot to get it. They go through that material with a fine-tooth comb, and you have got to really have done something to get that award under your belt. The Technical Services Award, which I gave away last year to a gentleman up in the Toledo area. This year it went to Bill Mira, N2CQR, and Dean Schulis, KK4DAS. This is an award that's given out for just technical service. You could do now, like the gentleman up in Toledo that I gave the award to last year. He held classes. He formed all kinds of special interest groups and that type of thing for his clubs. So they gave him the Technical Service Award for that. It's also one that you have got to do a lot of work to get. Trust me. New awards. I don't know if you heard, but there is a brand spanking new award out there. It's the 10-band DXCC award. And yes, it's for all 10 bands, including 2-meter and 6 meters. So if you're one of those DX hounds that is constantly working and getting more and more countries and so on, here's the newest and the latest and the greatest of the awards. Let me tell you, I'm not a DX hound. I don't apologize for that. I'm into NTS and emergency communications. So for me, that's okay. But I understand there's a lot of people that are, and I'm thrilled that there is, because that just makes our hobby even that much greater. So, but there is this new 10-band DXCC award, and if you're interested at all in working DX, go for this. It's really something worthwhile. Trust me. Club and Field Services Initiative. This is where my group. I'm the chairman of the. That we call it the alphabet soup for fun, but it's the Emergency Communications and Field Services Committee. And like I say, I'm the chairman of that committee. This year, or I should say, for 2026, we initiated a, a mandate from the board of directors to make it the year of the clubs. And so there's going to be a whole lot of different things that are going to be coming out about the year of the clubs, recognition for various activities of the clubs, and that type of thing. So hang on to your hat. You're going to see a lot of things happen. We're going to have some improvements on the website for online club affiliation application, and not just the application itself, but also the renewal form. So there's going to be autoresponders for confirmations and that type of thing. Those should be coming on in the next couple of months, actually. We're going to create an online special service club application. Right now, the application is fill in the blank and it sends an email to someone. Well, we're going to have an actual application and it'll be developed so the form will actually email you back with a confirmation that and all the information you chugged into it and everything else, which it does not do now. We're also creating a dashboard for the ARRL staff so they can track all these applications coming in, which is something they don't have right now. They have to manually track all that. So, and it becomes if you can about imagine, with 2,900 clubs, there is a lot of activity going on every day. We're going to create an online membership verification. What this is, as an affiliated club, you're supposed to be mandated to hold at least a 51% ARRL membership within your membership. So 51% of your members are supposed to be ARRL members. And we're going to give you a way to verify whether or not you have 51% or not, just by submitting a CSV file into this online application. And it will spit back exactly how many ARRL members you have. It won't tell you who they are, but by law, we're not allowed to reveal that information. But it will tell you if you have the 51% or above. So, or if you're below that, it'll tell you that as well. So, we're going to enhance the club finder. In fact, it's already been enhanced. It is not released yet. I got a view of it let's see, this is Tuesday, just yesterday. There is a mapping, it has a mapping program integrated in it. So when you go to look for a club, you can look at a club name or a town where you reside for looking up a club like yours, for example. And what this club finder mapping integration will do is it will take where your club address is. So whatever you feed in there as where you're meeting, the address for where you're meeting, it will actually map that out for somebody and show them on a map where you are. So it's a great feature that we're already using on the ARES side of things for ARES groups, and it works well. Let me tell you, it's really slick. We have approved, like I said, the year of the clubs. There's some initiatives for clubs that obtain or have 70 to 90% ARRL membership, or will obtain that within 2026. And then clubs with a 90% or higher membership. And if you're thinking, wow, that's a lot, we already know of 25 clubs right now that are at 100% because they require you to be an ARRL member to belong to their club. As simple as that. So we're also going to have a digital badge, a special digital badge for that. And like I say, there'll be a digital badge for the 70 to 90%. It'll be a little bit different. It won't be quite as fancy as the 90% or higher digital badge. And that will be given to you electronically, so you can put it on your website, on your letterheads, and you can use it all over the place. So it'll be, it's a pretty cool thing. I was one of the judges for what these badges look like, and I got to tell you, they're going to be worth getting the membership for. Trust me, they are. All righty. One of the actions that our committee did, and I'm very proud of, um, many of you, especially those of you who handle traffic, know back in 2016 there was a big brouhaha, and some NTS folks broke off from NTS and formed what is called Radio Relay International. They were specific to taking and handling traffic throughout the country. They had a very extensive library of information of how to and that type of thing. And it has been one of my pet peeves as a traffic handler for many years that this happened, and to try to bring this back together again. This year we did it. We actually, and you see Rick Roderick there, actually signing the MOU at our committee meeting for between the ARRL and RRI. So we're working hand in hand with RRI. It's been a great big benefit for not only national traffic, but RRI is also benefiting from it as well. So we also then took this to the board, and we rescinded minute 33 from the July 2016 Board of Directors meeting to reinstate the area staff chairs that we didn't have for many years from the Eastern, Central, and Pacific areas. So those have been reinstated now, and they're going to have elections here soon, and we will have our area staff chairs for NTS. It's an upper level management position is what it is in handling traffic. If you are a traffic handler, you know that there's a lot of procedures and that type of thing. And these folks will manage those procedures and how things work and that type of thing. So that's what their job will be. We've created a program to promote and recognize affiliated and special service club websites. They're going to seek out a number of websites throughout the country and give them a helping hand. Show them what they can improve, how they can improve. And I'm not so sure they're actually going to improve it for them, but they will give them or guide them to the help that they need to get their website updated. So if you think your website needs work, you might want to kind of push this forward and say, hey, we could use the help. So that'll be coming along in 2026 as well. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice for some reason. We did some special recognitions as well at the board meeting. John Bloom, we commended the work that he did for stabilizing and actually upgrading Logbook of the World. It now runs a whole lot faster than it did before, and it's much, much more stable. It was taken off of our own servers there at headquarters and put on AWS servers. If you're not familiar with AWS, that's actually Amazon Web Servers. So AWS is still Amazon. So we put them on Amazon. We also recognize the Tennessee ARRS, again, for Hurricane Helene and all of the life-saving efforts that they did to rescue and for communications and so on that they did around at that time, and so it's recognizing a lot of hams for their work. Centennial Club recognition. There were two of them this year. Both of them were in Ohio. And the Mahoning Valley Amateur Radio Association is celebrating 100 years of service as an affiliated club. I will preface it with this. They are actually celebrating 105 years as a club, an amateur radio club. So they've been around a long, long time. It was a lot of fun to give them their plaque and so on. And this coming Sunday, I will be at the Findlay Hamfest to deliver to the Findlay Radio Club the century-long dedication as a 100-year ARRL affiliated club as well. So those are the two clubs here in Ohio in the Great Lakes Division that will be recognized for 100 years of ARRL affiliation. Tom Brooks, KE1R, we also extended our sincerest appreciation for his contributions and wished him a happy retirement. If you don't know Tom, if you've ever been to headquarters, Tom was one of those volunteers that when you went to headquarters and asked for a tour, Tom would actually give you one of the most fantastic tours of the building. He knew everything there was about everything that was in there, all of the equipment, where it came from, who it was donated by, and all that, which is really kind of cool when you get the history. He knew the history of the building, how it was built, when it was built, and the grounds that ARRL sits on, and so on. It was always fun. I tagged along on several of his tours with other people, and he had a lot of fun with the people. I mean, he always made everybody feel so welcome. And you know, when you left the building, you left with a great feeling of, wow, what a fantastic tour I just got. And that's the way he just made you feel. Well, he's gotten up in age, and it's hard for him to walk around now. And even though the building isn't all that huge, there is a second story where you have to climb stairs. No, we don't have an elevator. It's old enough, it's just that way. So, but we do have a freight elevator. So if you need to go upstairs, you have a way. It's not the best, but it is a way. But Tom was getting old enough, and he decided that this is the time he wanted to go out and, hey, bless his soul for doing what he did. So he's now officially retired. He retired officially at the end of August, and so we wish him a happy retirement. Chuck Penson, WA7ZZE. We also appreciated his work with the museum and the research library. Radio Alpha, that is our museum. I don't know if you are aware, but for a number of years, in fact, over 5 years that I'm aware of, we have been putting together a virtual museum. This museum, you can walk in virtually on your computer and go visit Heathkit's equipment and everything that they ever built and put out. The same with Collins and so on. There's tons and tons and tons. There's over 3,000 pieces of equipment on there right now. We hope by this time, 2 years from now, that number will be 9,000. And multiply even from there. So that's what we're looking for. But we've been working on this for quite some time. The neat thing about the virtual versus just an actual museum is in an actual museum, you walk up to it, you can look around at it, but you can't touch it. You can't see in it. Many of the pieces of equipment, we've actually taken the cover off. And we've let you see the bottom of the radio with all the resistors, capacitors, and everything. And then the top of the radio where all the tubes and everything else are. So you get to see inside the case that you don't normally get to see in a museum itself. All you would really see would be just the outside as it would appear on your desk. So you don't get to see the fun part. So now we also are going to create a book, and it's going to be a lifestyle book about high performance clubs and upgrading current clubs. What's that all about? We're going to take the best of what makes a good club, and we're going to put it in a book. And then we're going to distribute that book to other clubs so they can learn by it, the best practices. Now, we recognize what works for one club may not always work for another. But hey, if you don't know about something that one club is doing, you may not know that that might work for you. Here in Ohio, years and years ago, we actually had a council of clubs. And that council did just that. It was actually taking the best from all the clubs around the state and saying, hey, this might not work for you, but maybe it will. And taking those best practices and actually turning them into something to make your club grow, make it more fun, make it interesting, and so on. So those are one of the kind of the cool things, and that's going to be coming along here, like I said, next year as well. We also expressed our gratitude to ICOM of America and Ray Novak for the Dream Station. So whoever wins that, I congratulate them. I'm not qualified to win it, so I can't. I'm out of it. But it would be fun to have a dream station. I won't deny that. It really would be. My station is almost 50 years old now, so it's an old station and it really needs upgraded. And one of these days, maybe I'll do that. But right now, I'm having fun with what I've got. So, so what can I tell you? And we are now at really the bottom of the slides. And if you have questions, now's a good time to ask.
All right, thank you, Scott. Speak up if you got a question, either in the room or online.
What kind of station does he have, since you mentioned it?
All right, Scott, I don't know if you could hear that. What kind of station do you have?
Right now, it's so sloppy, I'd be ashamed to turn the camera around, but I have a Yaesu FT920. Now, if any of you are familiar with that, that radio was actually one of the most modern radios back in the late 1980s and early 1990s. And I have one of the first versions of it. In fact, the second version of the 920 allows you to convert it so that you can use 60 meters. Mine is the first version, and it does not have that conversion available. So I have an Ameritron amplifier. It's just a little 500 watt. Yeah, I know that's, but I do have an amplifier. And the antennas, you'll probably not get overly impressed. For 40 meters, I have a dipole. It's up about 35 feet in the air. And that's what I run. On 10 through 20, I have a vertical. And a few years back, I actually did a multi-week article about putting it all together, digging the ground up, and all the cute things I found while I was digging the ground up, because my house was built over top of fill dirt, evidently. And I found teacups, and I even found a dog tag, believe it or not. But we found a multi-conductor cable. Now you're going to ask, well, gee, didn't you call 811? And no, actually, I did not call 811. The reason being is the backyard where my antenna has no underground cables. At least I thought. Now, the cable I hit, it was explained to me what it was. It was an old, what did they used to call those? PBX. I guess, or I'm not from the phone company world. Um, the is that what it is? The big heavy cable. It was like a 25 conductor or something like that, and it was flesh colored. It looked like something off the back of a telephone. A big, it was a big cable, about that big around in diameter.
Scott,
Yeah,
it's Ted in this NCAV. Yeah, it sounds like PBX. Probably there had been some industry back there, some business that had stuff back there, or had some of their stuff thrown into your fill area.
yeah. Well, what it was a piece this long. That was it. It was like it had to be within the fill dirt itself, and it was just there, and it got, so it's like, did I cut a cable or what? So as we were digging, and then we went digging on through, and that was it. We found this piece that was just this long, and it was cut clean on both sides, so we figured, yeah, it was just part of the fill dirt that got thrown in there. But like I say, I found a teacup, I found an old license plate, I found a dog tag. I mean, there was just all kinds of junk plus rocks. And here where I'm at, this area here is famous for the clay. We have clay everywhere. If you go down 6 inches into the ground, you're going to hit clay. And I mean, you could use it for modeling clay. It's that thick. And it goes down about a foot. And then after that, you get into all the fill that was done. I found concrete block, bricks, rocks. I mean, everything you can think of, building, all kinds of building materials. I had even pulled out a piece, it had rotted bad, but a piece of 2x4. But it just, it was kind of funny. We went down 4 foot with a 4x4 to anchor my vertical, and which I probably didn't have to go down that deep, but I did. I just, with me, I do everything way more than I probably should. But anyway, we put it down in there. I laid 36 radials out all over the ground. I have 3/4 of an acre here. I went around trees and everything else because I also have 37 trees on the property. And it was a lot of fun putting that up. But 10 through 20 is on that vertical. I have a 75-meter dipole that's also 35 feet in the air and suspended between a number of trees. So, and that's what I use. And that's all I use. And I have worked the world with that. Actually, it was funny because we were talking about this the other day. I actually, way back when I was still just a novice, my first rig was, I built an HW 101, and of course that took 40, 60 hours. And when I put it on the air, a friend of mine there in Mansfield had actually gone to Heard Island, and so I contacted him with that HW 101 on CW on 40 meters using just a little less than 100 watts of power. So let me tell you, you don't need a whole lot to get over the hump. But that was probably about the biggest DX I ever worked in my life. I do have one DX card I'm very proud of that very, very, very few people have. I have King Hussein, JY1, and I worked King Hussein on 2 meter. Now, I know everybody's sitting there like, huh? How did you manage that? Well, okay, it's as simple as this. King Hussein came to America when he was sick. And the only hospital he would go to was the Cleveland Clinic. So while he was at the Cleveland Clinic on the 7th floor in downtown Cleveland, he also had a 2 meter. So I worked him on 2 meters from the parking lot of the Cleveland Clinic. So, and I actually have a QSL card that shows that. So we have a contact on 2 meters. I also worked him on 20 meters about 6 months later. So that was a sked we set up. So, so we were very fortunate. But those are the few that I have worked as far as DX, but I'm not a big DXer. So are there any other questions?
Yeah, Stephen?
Yes, the decision to go to AWS, how was that taken? Was the membership advised that you were considering that, or was that a board decision? Or what?
Well, that was actually a board decision that was made to do that.
Without consideration of the membership?
Well, the members were the ones complaining that the server that it was on wasn't working.
Right, but there are a lot of choices in this modern world.
There are a lot of choices. However, because we are also using AWS servers for a number of other items, we got a break on those servers.
All right. Any other questions for Scott?
Not a question, but a comment, Scott. So my dad, G3CAQ, he also worked King Hussein on 20.
Oh, great.
It's probably in the 70s. And that was his primo QSL card.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one he always showed. Yeah.
Yeah, and I am very proud of both of the ones that I've got. I mean, they are really, if you've seen them, they are a masterpiece in themselves. They are gold inlay, and it's real gold.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's amazing how that is. So, but yeah, those are the two that I'm most proud of. I also work the International Space Station, and I have a card from them, which is kind of fun because, as you talk to especially non-hams, when I do presentations for non-hams, I always love to pass that card around and say, that's a very, very special card because it's working non-terrestrial. And the first thing people think of is, okay, well, how did you work ET? No, it's non-terrestrial. It wasn't here on Earth because they're floating around 265 miles out in space. And they're like, oh, we get it now, So, but it's one of those that you just have some fun with. Any other questions? Oh, come on, you got something, I'm sure. Feel free to ask anything.
All right.
Wow, okay.
Anybody else online? All right. Well, thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your inviting me. This is great, especially when I can do it this way. I've been tied up all day with, I'm also the chairman of the Elections and Ethics Committee, and we've been working on 300-word statements all day. So it's been a challenge, let me tell you. So that'll be coming out. Of course, that doesn't affect the Great Lakes Division this year, so no big deal there. But it's been fun. I will say that. I've really enjoyed it. So I thank you all so much for your patience and for your trust in me in representing you at the board meetings and so on. And I will say this. I have a lot of people ask me, what are the board meetings really like? Tell us the truth. What, is there people getting mad at each other and throwing chairs and that kind of, no, but I will say, if you've ever watched C-SPAN, that's pretty much it. Yes, we have people get up and make long speeches. Not quite the length that Congress has done, but they feel like it when you're sitting on an old hard chair. And but you know what? When we leave that room, we're still, that camaraderie of ham radio is still there. You can't take offense to something you didn't like or whatever. It's just not that way. And I will say that the board is much better now and much better shape now than it has been for quite a long time. So I'm very proud of the guys. We've gotten, as you saw tonight, we've got a tremendous amount of work done. We have a tremendous amount of work left. You know, a lot of folks say, well, you know, all you're doing is working on internal stuff. Well, part of the reason for that has been things haven't always been worked on. And just like with the Ethics and Elections Committee, there was some minor tweaks, but nothing to really account for where we are today in the 21st century and electronic voting. Yeah, we had in the bylaw you could do electronic voting, but that's about it. Nothing else. So none of the details, those fine details that catch everybody by, you know, off guard, none of those had been really thought through or discussed. So that's what all of this is all about right now, is bringing us into the 21st century with all of our bylaws and that type of thing, trying to make our club and our organization and so on what it needs to be more responsive to you folks. And I will tell you, it's not the member I worry about, it's the clubs. The clubs are what makes everything happen. Without a club, there wouldn't be any membership, wouldn't need to be any membership. It's the clubs that hold the memberships. So without you guys, you're the important wheel right now. So please do what you've been doing. Keep going. And hopefully we can do this again sometime very soon.
All right. Thank you, Scott.